Most of us think pregnancy is something their partner goes through. But here's the truth. Pregnancy changes you too. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally. Because the moment you realise that you're responsible for another life, that's when the pressure hits. And if you're not prepared for that shift, the first trimester can feel like standing on the edge of something you don't fully understand. So if you've just found out you're going to be a dad, this episode is where your journey actually starts. So you're not just expecting a baby, you're becoming a dad. And there's a difference. Most men don't realise this until it's too late. They wait, they stay quiet, they assume that they're going to figure it out when baby arrives. And then one day, they're exhausted, disconnected, and wondering how they became a passenger in their own family. This series exists to stop that from happening. I'm Aidan, founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club and dad of two. I've lived the mistakes, I've carried the pressure, and I know exactly what it costs when fathers don't prepare. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about understanding your role early so you don't spend the next 5 years trying to repair it. Every episode is going to give you clarity, perspective, and one thing you can actually do right now to show up better for your partner and your child. This series is built for you. It's designed to help you show up from day one and be the dad they need and the partner she's expecting you to be. No fluff, no lectures, just clear, tactical advice based on real-world experience. We're going to walk through what's coming physically, emotionally, financially, and mentally. Not just for her, but for you. Because this isn't about being the backup. It's about building a partnership that works under pressure. If you're expecting her to carry the baby and the burden, then you're already behind. But here's the good news. Being switched on, present and prepared, well, that's your choice. One you get to make today. One she'll never forget. So let's get you ready to lead, not by force, but by example. But let's build the version of you, your partner, your children, and your future self are going to be proud of. Fatherhood isn't a role, it's a responsibility, and it starts now. So, you've just found out you're going to be a dad. No fireworks, no marching band, just a line on a stick. And suddenly, your whole world shifts. While she's already on this journey, her body changing, hormones shifting, emotions moving fast, you're standing on the edge, wondering, when is it going to feel real? And that's the trap that most of us fall into. We wait to feel connected, we wait to understand our role, we wait for baby to arrive before we fully step in. But here's the reality. Your moment doesn't start when the baby arrives. It starts now. And if you don't show up early, you're going to spend the next few months playing catch up. So here we are, the day you find out you're about to become a dad. For us, starting a family felt like the next natural chapter. We'd done the things you're supposed to do. We bought our first house, and then we had the opportunity to move to a more desirable area, and we did that too. And that's where it began to feel like home. Our careers were stable, life felt grounded, and then we decided, let's try. Let's go all in on this next adventure. And I remember it like it was yesterday. My partner Terry left the pregnancy test on the edge of the bathroom sink. Before she even saw it, I did. Positive. We didn't shout, we didn't scream, we just looked at each other, a knowing smile. The moment felt big, but quiet. And right there, in that stillness, we made the decision. Keep it to ourselves, just for a little while. That weekend, we were at a wedding, surrounded by family and friends everywhere. But nobody knew. She doesn't drink. So nothing looked out of the ordinary. For 12 weeks, it was just us, carrying that secret, navigating the unknown. We even gave our baby a nickname. Coming from Irish and Italian heritage, we knew naming a child was never going to be easy. So that was a decision that we kicked down the road. All we knew was we didn't want to know the sex of our baby. Names, they could come later. First, we just needed to get through those early milestones. But here's the part nobody talks about. After the excitement fades, something strange happens. You pull back, not because you want to, not because you're not excited, but because something changes for her and for you. She's already on the journey. Her body is changing, her emotions shifting. She feels connected, whilst you're still trying to understand it from the outside. And let's be honest, that can mess with your head because you want to feel it. You want to be part of it, but you're not yet. And that's normal. But it's also where a lot of us start drifting into the background without realizing it. So let me tell you something up front. Your excitement, it's going to mix with fear, and that's completely normal. For me, it wasn't just the idea of having a baby, it was everything that came with it. Finances, responsibility, logistics. The weight of it all. That's why awareness matters early, because your partner is already experiencing the reality of pregnancy, mood swings, morning sickness, fatigue, hormonal shifts, and it can be hard. Now, I got lucky. Terry, she's incredibly resilient. She was still exercising regularly, eating well, getting on with life, even when she felt awful. But looking back, I didn't fully appreciate how tough it was for her at the time. And that's where the lesson is. Don't wait. Be aware of what she's going through, even if she doesn't say it out loud. Because she's feeling it every single day. And every pregnancy is different. Some women have an easier time. Some have it much harder. But one thing is always true. Those early stages, they're demanding. Here's something else to recognize. If your partner works, she's probably still showing up every day, acting like nothing has changed. Smiling, working, keeping everything moving. Meanwhile, she might be nauseous, exhausted, overstimulated, and maybe even scared. And if this isn't your first child, she may also be caring for other kids at the same time. You see, that's the hidden load, and this is where your role begins to change. You don't need to fix everything, but you do need to see it, notice it, and step in where you can. Support her without being asked. Take pressure off wherever possible. Be the person who protects her energy when she's running on empty, because that's how trust is built. Your job isn't to reassure her. Your job is to champion the mother of your unborn child. Let's talk about something very real. Morning sickness. And despite the name, it doesn't just happen in the morning. For some women, it can last all day, every day, and it can completely disrupt their routine. Now, certain women are more likely to experience it if it's their first pregnancy, or they're carrying twins, or they're prone to migraines or motion sickness, or they're under higher levels of stress. The good news, for most women, it eases between weeks 16 and 20. But until then, there are some simple ways you can help. Offer plain snacks like crackers or toast. Encourage small, regular meals. Keep fluids flowing. Avoid foods that trigger nausea. And if she's exhausted, let her rest. Take things off her plate. These small actions make a bigger difference than you realise. Now, early healthcare appointments matter, but let's be honest, most workplaces don't pay you to attend them. So you'll need to decide together those that are essential. For us, well, the 12-week scan was non-negotiable, and I also attended that first midwife appointment. But honestly, I felt like a bit of a spare part. But that's okay, because even if you're not centre stage, you're still there, you're still showing up, listening, learning, and supporting. And when something isn't clear, don't be afraid to ask questions. The more informed you become, the stronger partner you'll be during the pregnancy. If I could give you one action to take during this first trimester, it'd be this. Be an active listener, not just physically present, emotionally present. Because she needs to feel that you understand what she's going through. When she talks about symptoms, listen. When she shares worries, listen. When she's overwhelmed, listen. That presence creates emotional safety, and emotional safety strengthens your relationship long before baby arrives. But here's the one thing I want you to focus on from this episode. Have the conversation you might be avoiding. The conversation about the kind of father you want to be. The kind of partner you want to be. The kind of man that you want your kids to see. Because this is something I didn't do early enough. We were building a life together. We never stopped to talk about how we'd raise our kids. Our expectations, our parenting styles, our roles, our support network. Those conversations matter and they bring you closer together because the father you become starts with the man you choose to be. You're going to be a dad. The title alone changes how you walk through the world, but the journey starts long before you hold your baby for the first time. It starts now. Your empathy, your awareness, your willingness to show up. That's what shapes the early stages of pregnancy. So don't wait for it to feel real. Lean in, be present, support your partner, and start building the foundation for the family you're about to create. Because this moment, this early stage, is where your fatherhood story truly begins. If this episode hit home, that's not by accident. Fatherhood has a way of surfacing the things we've been avoiding, the pressure, fear, expectation, identity. The difference between dads who grow into the role and dads who burn out under it is awareness and support. If you want ongoing support, you can join the Modern Fatherhood Club. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, follow the show. And if you know another dad who's going to benefit from these types of conversations, please share this episode with him. Because that's how this spreads. One honest conversation at a time. Now, before you go, answer this in the comments. What part of this episode stood out for you and why? For me, the most important point is this. Fatherhood starts long before your baby arrives. And the work you do now is going to echo for decades. Presence beats perfection. Awareness beats guesswork. And the work you do now shapes the father you become. I'll see you in the next episode.